Well, the start of the school year comes at a time when Georgia's education system is really strapped for cash, even with the federal help.
And the state superintendent expects things are going to get even worse. CBS Atlanta's Helen NEILL is here to show us what happened when Superintendent Kathy Cox got down to the basics with the Senate panel.
Yeah, Cox says our school districts are down to the bone when it comes to funding. There is not an ounce of fat to cut.
I would say that when you have to make an announcement before school even starts that you're going to have to furlough teachers, we're at a pretty critical juncture.
A rough time for teachers and families in Georgia. The state is calling for teachers to lose 3 days' pay because it can't afford to cover those days. And a handful of schools have a whole different problem. They're accused of messing with students' standardized test scores to make themselves look better. But don't assume the news is all bad.
And you think about everything that happened between July 1 last year and July 1 this year to local school systems and their budgets. But, Senator, we had record student achievement across Georgia.
That's Superintendent Kathy Cox talking to a Senate panel about where we stand on education and the impact federal stimulus money is having. About $1.5 billion of stimulus money will flow into our school districts over the next 3 years. And boy, do we need it, according to Cox.
We are not anticipating good news. We are preparing for it to get worse.
Get worse as our economic situation gets worse. And that's a fair assumption, according to the state labor commissioner, who was also at the panel hearing. But the superintendent says she knows it's important to take advantage of the federal help headed our way. There's no time to waste, as a state she sees as having a lot to be proud of faces its biggest financial challenge in recent memory.
We've got a record graduation rate. We had gains across the board for kids. We had gains for all subgroups of students, particularly disadvantaged students.
This was one in a series of meetings focusing on our state's economic conditions and the way our leaders are responding to all that. Helen NEILL, CBS Atlanta News.